just got so much good Trader Joe's food that I'm like too excited for dinner right now. I need to chill and just talk about foundation. All right, so today for Foundation Friday, I wanted to share with you guys my current foundation routine that is bomb. This combo of products just work together for my skin. I've been wearing this combo the last couple weeks and it's like I don't want to reach for anything else because I feel like I have this routine right now that just holds up amazing on my skin. It looks soft and natural but glowy still, and it doesn't crease bad on me. It just is like the perfect combo of products, and there's a couple of different things in here that I don't normally do that have just been working really well for me. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Hopefully it works well for you too if you try out any of these products or any of these techniques. But I have a whole Foundation Friday playlist linked down below with tons of foundation reviews, different foundation routine videos, and all of that good stuff. So if you're excited for Foundation Friday and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so we are very up close and zoomed in, ready for some foundation action. So after I moisturize, I've been putting on the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer. This is such a good product. You guys will be seeing this coming in my yearly favorites for sure. I'm almost out of this, and this is like one of those products that for some reason I feel like I haven't talked about enough, but I use it almost every single day, especially lately. And I also love this when I'm on vacation or like if you're going to the beach or something and you just want your skin to look really healthy and glowy, but you don't want to be putting on a bunch of makeup. This is so pretty. There's no tint to it or anything. And I wouldn't really say it's a primer. It's more just like a glowy kind of base. It does kind of come through the foundation, but it also just looks really pretty on its own. And this is a few bucks. I found this through Jam Beauty 89, Jessica. By the way, my face is like really red on this side today because of my hot pack I had on. So that's what's happening there. If you have dry skin, this also just feels really nice and moisturizing on the skin without feeling like greasy. Look at that glow. I love it, especially in natural light. It almost looks like, not blurring, but a little bit softening and super glowy. It's very similar to the Milani Soft Focus Glow. Just right around my pore area, I've been putting on a touch of my Revlon Photoready Pore Reducing Primer. This is one of my favorites if you want an actual pore reducing primer. So I'm just gonna focus right here and almost like press it into my pores, and just like almost blurs them out a bit. So you guys will be seeing this video after Christmas, I'm pretty sure, which is crazy because I'm filming this the very beginning of December. So I hope everyone had a good Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. So in my time, I haven't even had the surgery yet, but this is what I've been doing the last couple weeks in my time. The star of the show, this foundation, I am so in love with. This is the Etude House Double Lasting Foundation. I did a whole Foundation Friday review on this. This foundation I know is really popular in other parts of the world, but in the US, I feel like this is totally underrated. This foundation lasts amazing, has great coverage, looks smooth on the skin, just has like a very natural satin kind of finish. And when I've been wearing this exact combo of products that I'm going to show you today, I've gotten a couple compliments on my skin in real life, which I feel like that's how you know a foundation routine looks good. So I have the shade number 2, which is a pretty close shade match for me. It's a little bit on the yellow side, but once I do the rest of this routine, it kind of like evens everything out. And in natural lighting, it looks really good. Like it looks like it matches and it's a nice kind of tone on my skin, but it is a tiny bit on the yellow side, I would say. So I've actually been using this Nakia Joy sponge and I just use it dry. I feel like it applies the foundation really beautifully dry. It's very soft and squishy, and I'll just go in and put it directly on the sponge and then start working it into my skin. Might look a little bit light at first, but once it's all over my face, it does match. I don't know why I always try and do foundation routine videos wearing hoop earrings. Why do I do that? Side note, I have been loving the look of foundation lips, like just covering my entire lip in foundation. I love looking dead, you know? There's something so just soft and flattering and natural looking about this foundation, but it still gives you that coverage. This side, you guys will see how it covers all that redness. It's also just very comfortable on the skin. I actually wore this the day I was flying back from Hawaii, and my makeup wore amazing on the plane through the entire day and lasted like over however long it was on, over 13 hours, and through a plane ride. Do you guys wear foundation when you travel? Let me know down below. I kind of go half-half. Sometimes I will do literally nothing for the airplane, and sometimes I just feel like I want to look like a little bit put together. I have a lot of redness on my neck, so I'm just going to drag this down, kind of cover that. So as you can see with this application, like with the sponge, it's not complete full coverage. You can still see some of my freckles coming through, but it just really helps to even everything out, and it looks like a natural, pretty kind of finish. The next step I've been doing, which I absolutely love, and it does something glowy and magical to your skin, is using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. This is in the shade R330, so this one is way too dark for me as a foundation, but it's the perfect bronze shade where it just gives my face this like warmth to it and this glow, and it adds coverage because it's a full coverage foundation stick. It looks almost like orange under this lighting, which is weird, but once I blend it out, it looks super pretty. So I just take that same sponge and use this just where I would normally apply bronzer. Got a hair in there. And because this has coverage, it looks really nice in this area of your face, and it also has like a super glowy finish, so it just makes you look really flawless. If you have fair skin, definitely recommend using a different foundation shade as bronzer because a lot of bronzers are way too dark, so you can just go up a few foundation shades. As you can see, that just kind of like warmed up my entire face and gave a little bit more life to me. And now I'm gonna go in for concealer. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. Been loving this. This is in the shade C2. Been using this basically every day. You don't need a ton. I've just been putting on like that much. I let it sit for a few seconds before I blend it out just to get the best coverage. I almost always use a concealer brush to blend out my concealer, but because I was traveling and I was using this sponge for basically everything, I blended out my concealer with it, and I really like how it works. So after I let it sit there for maybe like 5 more seconds, I can kind of feel it drying. Now I'm going to go in with the tip of this sponge and just blend out. I also bring this over my lid just to add a little bit more coverage there. Look at how just like fresh and flawless that concealer looks. I like to let that concealer sit for a little bit just to kind of set. So the other key magical part of this routine is this product right here. So this is the Laura Mercier Candleglow Sheer Perfecting Powder in the shade 1. I've talked about this in the past, but I've just have been reaching for it again, and it is such a stunning powder. You can use this for so many different things. You could set your entire face with it with like a big fluffy brush. I've been mixing this for my under eyes. I've been mixing it with the SuperStay. And I'll use mostly this with just a touch of this, and it just adds like a touch of a reflect under your eyes, which just makes it look a little bit more brightening and flattering rather than being like a super powdery powder under there. And then we're also going to use this on my face as highlight and on my forehead, and it just looks stunning because it's a very soft, subtle, but effective glow. It's not like a super glistening highlight. It doesn't have any sparkle in it. It just is very soft and flattering on the skin and natural looking. But I think this is the product that really like takes this to the next level. So I don't know if they still make this brush, but this is the brush I've been using. It's the Morphe G40. I'm pretty sure they discontinued this entire G line, which was one of their best. Another one I'll use is kind of similar is the E49. So I start out with the Laura Mercier powder. Just do a little swirl here, and then I'll go in with the Maybelline powder. This is one I always use for my under eyes. It's the lightest one. It's in the shade 102 Fair Porcelain, and I'll use the majority of this. So I just want it to really lighten everything up and press it on underneath my eyes and over. So it just really brightens, sets. I always get under eye creasing no matter what I do, whether I set it with powder, I don't set it with powder. So I just try and find a powder combo that gives me minimal creasing because I always crease because I have lines under there. My main thing is that I like powders that don't take away the coverage and that actually add some coverage and also do a good job of brightening everything up. Before I finish up with the base routine, I'm just going to put on eyebrows really quick. I've just been using the Joa Truly Yours brow pencil. You can get this at Sally Beauty. No, you can't. You can get this at CVS. I've just been kind of like in a little bit more natural, not like perfectly even and just kind of like lightly filled in. So then I'm going to go in with the Revolution Pro Sculpt and Glow palette. This one's in the shade Savannah Nights. I think they make 2 different shades of this. This is the darker one. If your skin tone is around mine, you have to be careful with this. It is super pigmented, and if you use too much, it can look a little bit ashy and like a little bit much. So you literally need like the lightest dip of this, but it has a really pretty tone if you can get the right amount. I'm just warning you, it is a little bit finicky. Like it's not the perfect formula, but the shade is really pretty. You just have to really use a super, super light hand. It also looks super pretty in the crease because of the tone. So I'm literally gonna dip the lightest amount, like one tap, and then go in. And this is almost like, it's a little bit of a contour shade because it's a little bit cool tone, but it just adds a little bit of something. You can see that side versus this side. Like I said, if you can get the right amount, it is super pretty and it looks just very summery almost, which I know isn't the look we're going for, but it's like that bronze tone that you want where it's just like a pretty brown. If you try this and you're like, what the heck? Try a different brush, because the first couple times I used this, it was a little bit difficult to blend out and too intense, but then once I switched brushes and use something like fluffier, this is normally my blush brush, it applies so much better. So I haven't been wearing blush, I've just been liking the look of just bronzer. So now we're gonna go back in with the Mercier powder and use this as a highlight. I've been loving the Milani all over blending brush for this. This is like a big version of my Sigma brush. It looks like it's gonna be too dark in the pan, but because it's so sheer, I mean, you'll see. Let's just go in. I add quite a bit of this, and first I'm gonna use it on my cheekbones as a highlight. This is like one of those products where you don't see it until you hit the light, and then it is so freaking soft and beautiful. It just looks like your skin. It sits on the skin so nice. You know, it's not intended to be a highlight, it's a powder, which I think is why it just sits so nicely as a highlight. So you can really layer this on. Add it to my Cupid's bow. We were playing Battle of the Sexes in Hawaii, which is a totally like behind the times game, but it is still entertaining and fun. But one of the questions for the guys was, what do you call this area right here? And actually a lot of the women didn't know either, which I guess makes sense. I guess you wouldn't really know that unless you are super into makeup probably. I don't think I knew that before getting into makeup. And then I'm gonna add a touch of this right here. I feel like in this lighting right now, it's like not doing this product justice. We might as well just finish up my eyes with you guys on camera. So I'm just gonna do what I've been doing. I'm gonna add a touch of concealer. This is just L'Oreal to prime my eyes. I'm just gonna put that same bronzer shade into the crease. The tone of this is just so pretty. Then I'll take whatever highlight I have sitting around. So I've been using this one or just any other one that's in my bag and my travel bag, and pressing that on the lid. For setting spray, I've kind of re-fallen in love with Urban Decay All Nighter. I really like the Summer Solstice scent too because it's coconutty. So I just put this all over. I definitely do feel like this does something for the finish of my foundation, but I do think this helps make my makeup last a little bit better. This specific setting spray, some of them don't, but that one I do feel like it does. I do feel like it does. What am I saying? So just to keep this look kind of soft and focused on the skin, I'm just gonna put on mascara. I'm not gonna do eyeliner or anything today. I've been loving the CoverGirl Exhibitionist again. I'm back in it with this mascara. It is so pretty. Look at, okay, I just got mascara on my lid, but look at one coat of that mascara. This also holds a curl really well on my lashes. If you ever get mascara on your lid, don't try and wipe it right after you do it or else it's just gonna smear. Just wait till it dries down and then you can just use a tiny brush and kind of smudge it off. And for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Love Bite Liner. Then I'm gonna use BH Liquid Linen Lipstick in Natalie. So I was gonna leave it like that, but I actually want to add a touch of gloss and lighten it a little bit. So I'm going in with the one and only Caught You Bare Naked. I feel like this necklace tone is like not working with this look right now. It's like a little bit too yellow. We're just gonna take that off. All right, so this is what I've been doing for my base. I just love this routine. It holds up amazing. It looks, I feel like, even better in natural lighting than what it's showing up on camera and here. It just looks, like I've said 50,000 times, so soft and just glowy but natural, and it just looks like your skin still. So let me know what you guys think if you try anything out. I would say the two standouts out of all of this, well, there's kind of, well, every step is crucial. Using something like this for the bronzer because it just makes it look really glowy and adds that coverage, obviously the foundation, and then the Mercier powder is just magical, and I feel like you can use this for so many different things, and I do think it's worth the investment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this foundation routine and found it helpful. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. I am gonna try and have a normal foundation Friday, like first impression video next week, but it all just depends on how quick I'm recovering from the surgery and when I can like put makeup back on my face, to be determined, but I'm trying my best. But if you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.